Luckily, you
Hold
didn't
on,
notice,
Hen. Hold on,
yeah.
Hen. Hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. And you guys are live.
Woo!
Hi, everybody.
We're back. Long
We are
time no
back.
see.
What up? What up?
Okay, we go live and we have nothing to say.
Okay, Fellowship.
Fellowship, take it away.
Fellowship is like we're all counting on Fellowship to lead this, but Fellowship is extremely distracted now by all the content that's just flooding.
No, I was just hearing the same thing twice. I was getting a bit confused. But we are back. We are back now. I think before the thing does come up, the panel, I think we'll just go through where we left off from the trailer, and hopefully everything is better now in regards to the quality. So let's get that 1 second. Carl, would you be able to get up the trailer back up, please?
Sure. Can you send the link? Actually, no, we're good.
Sure. Apparently, there's a lot of echoes.
No,
now.
the echo's good now. I fixed it.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So, do you want me to just play this on mute, or what do you want me to do?
Mute. Should
Okay.
Ken, what scene were we on last? Yeah, should we go to there?
Thank you for that.
Spot on.
So,
Okay, thank you. We're good.
to Hen, do you want to take it away then from this part?
Yeah. Be careful. Watch out. Yeah.
The chat says they can't hear you, Hen.
Oh, really?
Well, somebody said that.
Can you hear? Is it the volume or is it that you can't hear him at all? Can you hear any of us?
Hen is muted. He's okay. 1 sec.
Oh, you just had that
Hen,
great speech.
can you keep talking
and
for a
then...
sec? Okay.
Yeah, it was a good speech.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, 1 sec. You.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot.
Everyone can hear everyone else in the meantime. Yeah. Okay, so you can hear everyone else. So what Hen was saying is basically, they're trying to unearth something from underground. Maybe that was the hint that's happening here. Maybe they're digging too deep. So what do you guys think of that as a possibility?
A bit on the nose, perhaps. Again, with many things in this trailer, I would say.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you know, it's a good thing they would be teasing that, I suppose. I mean, I would expect it wouldn't be just empty teasing, so I would suppose they're trying to build towards some sort of payoff.
I'm thinking the Balrog is.
Ken, I don't think they can hear you right now.
Hen's
so...
good now. Hen's good.
Okay, Hen's good.
Yeah, I'm good. I think the Balrog is transposed to the end of the Second Age to be the end game for this storyline because not that I like it, but without it, really, where does the Moria
No.
storyline end? It doesn't have the kind of conclusive ending
Yeah,
point that
that-
the other ones do.
That Balrog we saw in the footage or in the trailer is from the prologue, it seems. So yeah, we have that.
We'll
So-
get there. We'll get there because
Mhm.
I think there is even more premonitions of the Balrog. They're just a bit more subtle, but we'll get to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
And again, a bit of.
should we move
It's
on to
just
the next
the,
scene now?
the dotting of the i's and crossing of the t's is a little strong in this.
Mhm.
I have a question about the whole mithril thing and the digging and and all of that. Does it have anything like? Do you think? This is probably a dumb question. I should know this. What are the rings made out of?
One of them, you're right though. One of the rings is made of mithril, Galadriel's.
Yeah.
That's a very sure.
So it ties into the rest of the rest of the story, which is good. But I feel
Yeah, it
like that's kind
does.
of why Elrond is there. Like it might be something like that, like a connection.
Yes, it
there.
is. It
Yeah.
is because we know that Elrond is partially there on the behalf of Gil-galad, partially there on behalf of Celebrimbor, and we know from the interview with Edwards that Celebrimbor comes up with the name Mithril. So presumably his buddy Durin 4 show him this new thing, and then I have a great name for that. So they go into business together, into the mithril business. yeah, it is relevant. The mithril stuff, it's totally relevant. I'm just not sure that having the Balrog, having the Palantir, having the hobbits, having potentially Gandalf in this, it's very, crossing a lot of boxes.
Mhm.
But should we move on to the next clip now?
Yeah, we should.
Which is, let's see.
Durin 3.
Durin 3. We get Peter Milan talking to thing. I think we've spoken about this enough as well. So should
Yes,
we go
we
on to
have.
the next section?
Yeah, and a wonderful extreme close-up of Galadriel.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really extreme. I love extreme close-ups. And I think this shot will explain itself when we get to a later point in the teaser, right?
Mm-hmm. But
Galadriel's surrounded by everything is burning.
oh yeah, we used to even see this.
We'll get to that eventually.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the eye that's opening.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What
that's
is this eye?
I'm feeling
Galadriel.
dragon,
It's
but I don't
Galadriel's. I
know.
think it was Galadriel's eye.
It's Galadriel.
It
It's
is.
just in
Is
an
it?
extreme.
Small
It's
thick
just in
cuts.
it's just in an extreme close-up.
It kind of looks like a snake eye because
Yeah.
I don't know, but then
It's
makes
just the
sense.
light. It's the refraction
But
of the
yeah,
light.
it does make sense. Yeah, I think it is
Yeah.
her actually.
Yeah,
I thought it was some sort of a creature as well.
yeah, me too. I was like,
There is
oh.
a creature, by the way, later in the trailer. We'll get to that too.
Oh.
So
I was-
we're
I was-
thinking
I
that's
like-
Agor Bragolak, right?
That's not drag. I don't think so.
I think it's from a later
think, like,
episode.
Because Fellowship was saying on previous show, he was saying this scene with her waking up or walking in the red is not
Yeah.
the same scene with the
Yeah,
floating.
they're different.
Yes, but I think it's not even in the first age. I think that shot will
Ah.
Yeah,
explain
later.
itself when we
This
get
shot
there,
is similar
because-
to the one where she's
Yeah.
not the floating shot, but the one where she looks really dusty. I think is how you say it. So you get all that on her.
Messed up.
Mm-hmm.
the
But
way we see
we'll
her
see. What's the next shot? Let's see. But yeah,
Yeah,
should we
a
talk
rather
about what that
ominous
could be?
looking
I
castle.
think the first one maybe is a Tumno. I think that's
Mhm.
a possibility. What do you guys think of that?
Okay, like. Could
That's
it be
what
where
I'm
the troll
thinking.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
which
yeah.
case, it doesn't really have to be like Tumno or
And
Angband. It
unnamed.
could just be nondescript, creepy-looking castle in Forodwife, which I would prefer actually.
Yeah, but why would they have like I don't know? Would they have that in the trailer?
Mm.
Or would
Sure.
it be something really majorly important, or would it just be like,
I think what matters.
yeah, we're just showing this because it's a good shot and it's creepy?
I think what
I-
matters to them is that we should think that it's important,
Yeah.
regardless
I-
of whether it is.
And apparently, judging by the teaser, this is where some set pieces are, taking place in the first episodes and stuff. So I
Yeah,
suppose they just
very
went by,
relevant.
the rule of cool in this case
Yeah.
for the trailer, of course.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I don't think we'll see this place too much. But yeah, let's get on to the next one. We've got 1 minute out of 3. I think you will see the Mark of Saron. It looks like maybe even in the same place. So,
Maybe.
what do you guys think of this Mark of Saron? I think it's been quite
Well,
prominent because then after that, we go to that guy saying, "Lad, have you heard of Sauron?" Something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That was-
guys, wait. We can hold on this trailer for a second because we got live footage of the trees being destroyed. I think that's much better than watching this.
Where's that?
So, Carl, could you get us up
Wait, by
by
Magnolia?
Melkor? Yeah, we're gonna get it up on the screen. Footage
Oh yeah, Melkor.
of Melkor destroying the 2 trees. Thank you, Shobler, for putting that. Oh,
Is it taken
I
down?
think let's see if it's been taken down. I know it's not been taken down now.
Ooh.
I'm seeing it.
What I'm
Yeah.
seeing is sort of.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but it's very blurry. But it
Yeah.
looks interesting enough.
That looks like an opening credit sequence almost, some of it.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody's getting taken out in handcuffs.
Well,
No, hopefully not.
whoever recorded that, you can.
You're like an OG.
Yeah, and I'm saying, but so
Okay.
that is footage.
I don't know.
I get the way the footage is constructed. Like, yeah, the
mhm,
camera is like trailing up the trunk pretty close up. I mean, it's a big tree.
mhm,
And yeah, we see like the life coming out of it. That's cool.
mhm. But should we get back to this part now, where we have back to the trailer, please,
We should.
Kyle, where we have what's his face? We got Theo, who is like, what have you heard of? Have you heard of Sauron? And then we get Bronwyn, who seems to be trapped, and that orc looks quite scary. The fingers. Have you guys noticed that?
It's the sound design, I think, that makes it like really creepy because it's like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
quite creepy. Good stuff.
I like how they cut it, the way that he sits back and then it turns into Bronwyn, which is really, really cool because originally I thought it was like a flashback from her being a kid and then growing up.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's how they could do it. But then, yeah, it's really well. Like the trailer itself is really well put together, I feel.
Mm. And then we get Theo again, and he's looking at this hilt of his, and then it kind of turns into a sword.
Mm-hmm. I think. Anybody have any theories on that?
No, except that it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a flashback.
I'm not sure it is, but it could be, yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's the sort of thing that happens like in a really dramatic moment, like there's an orc attack outside or something, and suddenly his blade, then whoop.
How do you use this thing? Oh, there it is. It's like a lightsaber.
Wow, I was just thinking about that when you said it. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
sure I'm a huge fan of the idea. But yeah.
It's like a retractable sword.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
But
But where was I?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where is Bronwyn? Is she like in a cage or is she inside her house?
I think she's
or...
in her house.
In a
Yeah, I think
cupboard?
she's
Yeah.
hiding in a cupboard or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
The
because it
orcs
looks
are
like a
coming.
little straw thing. Like it looks like the first thought I had was that she was in one of those carriages that are on
Yeah.
horses, and she's hiding in there.
I think
Yeah.
this goes back to what McBain have been saying in interviews that there's one thing to see like an army of orcs that doesn't necessarily impact the lives of everyday people, but a whole other thing to have an orc in your house
Yeah.
Yeah,
So perhaps this is gonna be an actual, like, home invasion.
Yeah.
I think that
It's
Fiona is
a
quite good at doing, actually.
Yeah, and it's a big difference. Like it's interesting. Like you see them like hordes of them in a war. But seeing like that scene in the Lord of the Rings in Two Towers where they're attacking villagers, and it's like they're civilians. Like they were unexpecting of this. It kind of feels worse somehow. Like it's more raw. So
Yeah, sure, it's more personal.
and they are dangerous. Like they're terrifying creatures. So fighting off one when you're not a warrior or
Mm.
not really necessarily know how
Yeah.
would be a challenge.
But
Priscilla says in the chat, Melkor was a good boy. Indeed, indeed.
Oh my.
mhm.
But then doesn't Bronwyn say to the little kid? Oh, now I can't remember his name.
Theo.
Something about the darkness can't find you if you go into the light, and then the sword looks pretty scary.
Yeah, it does.
I'm like, is he some form of interest to Sauron? Or is
Could
he
be.
like being drawn to the darkness? Is there something? Because when he said you've heard about Sauron and he backs off, it's like, does that mean something? Like it doesn't look very friendly, that sword.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Maybe
was,
it's Sauron's sword.
Maybe. I was less inclined to believe it's necessarily an evil sword until I just saw it magically go rip. So, yeah.
Yeah, but
Do you guys think he might be the Witch King?
I think
No,
it's
I
don't.
possible. It's definitely possible.
Mm.
I don't think so. I'll tell you why.
or Camus.
Kamul,
I've
yeah.
said
Or
it
one of
many
the other
times.
ones.
I've said it
Yeah.
many times, but I'll tell you why. I don't see Theo getting recast.
Hmm.
By that I mean I think we'll see
Him grow up with the show.
Fidine grow up with the show.
Do you think
And
though?
like
do you think?
that means like
Do you think there could be a
Yeah,
time
yeah,
jump at
Kyle.
all?
no, I don't think so. No.
Not even
No.
like 10 years kind of
I
thing.
don't know. Maybe.
No, not
Maybe
even
for like
5.
over not in this season, but maybe later seasons. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I mean, I kind of feel like all of the Nazgul, they have to be some form of power. I don't get the powerful vibe
Yeah,
from
they
him.
were all.
I
they
don't
were
feel
all
a king's
kings.
son.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they have to be a bit more older and kind of grim and stuff because I don't think Amazon wants us to have that picture in our mind of a fresh-faced 18-year-old under one of the suits, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what they'll invariably get if they'll choose Theo. As one of, like, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't see it. Halbrand I can see, but that's a different issue.
Yeah. What about no? I don't know. Oh, that's silly, isn't it? Like if he's Adar as young.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think so.
I think they're
Yeah.
concurrently.
And
honestly.
Adar is
Adar's
Yeah.
child.
Adar's
Adar is
child.
an elf, yeah.
He's
yeah.
love child with I don't know, Bronwyn.
Bronwyn. Well, we do know Bronwyn and Adar, or maybe it was Adar an unknown figure, have like this quite like a discussion on a nice valley in not valley, but it was like forested area in New Zealand. So just putting that out there.
So maybe it is the kid.
Q&A's beginning soon, so Car, do you want to talk us through how we're gonna go through that, and for the audience as well?
I mean, we're just gonna play it live. We're gonna stream it
Cool.
here live, and we'll kind of listen to them. And if we have things to say, we can chime in. And yeah, should be a fun chat.
Okay.
Yay.
Let's go.
Can you
Yeah.
I'll be back in 30 seconds. So, Hen, I'll put you in hosting duty while I'm gone for 30 seconds.
Do you want to go through the rest
Can
of
I
the
just-
shots here? Oh, go ahead.
I think we
Yes.
should.
Can I
Yep.
just say before the Q&A starts that I think it's really exciting. Some of these people have been cast as far back as like summer 2019.
Yeah.
And this is the very first time that we're going to hear them chat about these characters and the storylines and everything. I mean, they did
Yeah.
have some press stuff like throughout this couple of months and everything, but we haven't seen anything yet. We haven't heard anything yet from them. So I think this is really exciting.
And it should be exciting for them too,
Yeah.
because they're going to get to talk
Yeah.
about all this stuff they've
Yeah.
been doing for the past 4 years, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they've been talking about it now for a couple of months. With the press,
Some of them.
it just hasn't been
Some of them
released
have,
yet.
yeah.
Some of them,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and it's different to hear them speak it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So should we go through the rest of the shots?
Well, this is going to start any second now. But can you guys see this? Are you able to see what I got on my screen?
I still see Theo.
Okay.
Actually.
I see Theo, yeah.
Okay, one sec. We'll fix that. How about now?
Yeah, Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Should start any minute, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Morning, boss.
Is the stream about to start? Starting soon.
It should start any moment. They're late. 1 minute late. Imagine.
The cast is never late.
Yeah.
It arrives precisely when it needs to.
I'll be right
I
back.
think Prime Video are learning after us today with the stream. No, is Hot Saron going to be there? I don't think he is, unfortunately. Anson Boone, who is the actor.
Maybe he
playing
will
Sauron.
be. Maybe he will be now that he's
Oh,
revealed.
surprise!
Yeah,
Very true.
that would be cool.
Very true.
That would be very cool.
But he hasn't seemed to be present in the pics that we've seen from the actual panel, right? Because people have been tweeting them out, and I don't think anybody mentioned
I
him.
just wonder if he'll come out now that the trailer's been made public.
Mm-hmm. So yep, as we've already said, we're going to be showing it live on here, unless it gets taken down. So I think Kyle, we've got the legal notice, something that it is a live broadcast, so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough for me. That is enough for me.
Sounds very reassuring.
Okay.
Maybe they're having worse technical difficulties than we were.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm glad it's not just
video.
us.
Is Varking gonna be in the room where we're gonna be watching?
I don't know what.
Yeah.
Varkin
Yeah,
is.
he'll be
very
with
meta.
us spiritually.
If we get enough super chats, can we get him to do something crazy?
Oh, he's right here.
Where is he?
Hello.
There he
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just 1 sec. I gotta get him in the.
No
Are you
way.
gonna go streaking in Hall
on.
8?
Wait. He needs to be
Yeah,
on the
I gotta
stream
get him.
first. Just wait. Don't ask him any
Fucking
questions
Rune
yet.
song.
Yo, it's
All
a
right.
big day, guys.
1 sec.
King.
You're breaking the internet.
Yeah. Yep. We see it leaked.
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
We've seen a trailer and some footage.
Yeah. We've
Yeah. We've seen the
Melkor.
we've seen the music.
Melkor.
Pictures of trees getting kaboom.
Yeah.
No, video.
And
And,
then
and,
the
a little bit of
music.
video. And a little bit of video.
Mm-hmm.
Both stills and video.
Ooh.
And are we surprised?
It happens to be something kind of widely known, but the way it played out was beautiful, and obviously it deals with the dwarves,
Oh.
so I was paying extra close attention to it. But let me just set the scene of what Comic-Con was like today. We walked in, and they had some composer. I can't remember his name, but it's like an Animal McCreary. I can't remember. And there was like a live performance on the stage for everybody. And I mean, bass sound booming against the walls. It was glorious. And then we had this mega screen in front of us, right? And they were showing stuff on that screen. And then the side walls opened up, and it was like almost the whole length of the wall was additional screens, and they were just showing different footage on each screen that you were looking at. It was opened up, it was beautiful.
Oh my god.
My uncle Stephen
We saw it
Colbert
was a
was there.
triptych.
That was a pretty cool time.
Oh, no
but
way.
Yeah, he got to be the host. There's gonna be a lot of footage that comes out from that once people get their batteries back up.
How many people are recording?
We were recording for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of recordings, a lot of notes were taken. But now that the trailer footage is out, what did you folks think of that? Just real quick.
Saron is crazy, isn't it? What do you think? What was it like seeing him on screen?
Oh, so that's where we're going.
No.
We're saying Sauron.
It's been confirmed by all the media things.
Yeah, no,
Not
Not
officially,
officially,
but it's
though.
being-
I don't think anything has been confirmed officially. Yeah.
Well,
Who else?
until
Who
it is
else?
confirmed, I'll go with I don't know who that is, but he's got such an amazingly distinct look. I love it. I'm very intrigued by it. It's been a night, folks. It's been a day. It's been a couple days of lack of sleep. I got lost multiple times trying to come back to my hotel last night, so I gave up, and that's why I stayed in line for everybody because I couldn't figure out where I needed to go home.
So it's
And
Wow.
you know, they brought the cast out, and we were able to. They didn't let me ask questions, but they let people in the crowd ask some questions to the people there, and Colbert interviewed them and asked questions about motivations for different characters. They tried to get the stranger to talk more about, you know, what his character is and where they're going with it. I can't find the lighting in my room. I apologize. There we go. But
You look spectacular either way, so you don't have to have the good light.
Owen Arthur
okay.
and Sophia just kill it in every setting that they put them in, the way that they talk and the accents on the show. I think when more of this footage that we were shown finds its way to the internet at some point, hearing them talk dialogue and really just interact with one another on screen, I think people are gonna, the more they hear the accents, the more they're gonna like them more and more, especially the Elven ones, which is tough for me to say. But when we get off of here, I want to tell you guys two scenes we saw that you might not have seen yet, and it's gonna be
I
so
heard
good.
I think the scenes, the Durin one and Elrond, and then the Me Too Man landing scene, right? Those are two of them there.
Not going to confirm for sure because I don't know what's going on.
Are we not allowed to? Are people at San Diego not allowed to share what they've seen?
I have no idea. I've read no rules, nothing. I'm starving.
No, actually, no, it is fine. It is fine, Varking, because Empire Magazine and all the big people have what's it called?
And if it's not, you'll just take the hit.
No, we've taken enough hits today.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat said that people weren't allowed. Some people weren't allowed to film, and they were removed or something. So
I didn't see anybody get removed, but I can confirm they came over to our boy Nerd of the Rings and said, "Hey, no recording footage."
Wow.
So you were allowed to record the panels and the Q&A and all that, but footage was a no-no.
Right.
Yeah, because they want to be in charge of the narrative, which I can understand.
Yes.
Although it's frustrating for all of us, I can still understand their point of view as well.
Yeah.
We're getting totally getting a Europe group going to SDCC 2023 for sure. I've already agreed with Melonhead, so you guys,
that's nice.
let's do it. Once the badges come on, we're all gonna just be on there like fireflies. I don't know. Yes, we're going as a team together. I'm excited, and we'll see you there, Barking.
Yeah, I think after this experience, definitely wanting to go back again. It's been crazy, but the amount of people contributing to making sure we're in the right places at the right time and keeping things organized and rotating people in and out of lines.
Oh, we're live.
Not...
It started. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're live, don't you want to?
No.
Can you guys hear this?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right, bring it on. So sweet.
Morph is.
A little bit laggy, but it's okay.
I got it.
Woo!
Huh. No, Pat.
Charlie. They can't get their names right. Wow.
God, these names are great. Cynthia, Tristan, Maxim, Lloyd, Emma, and Leon. All right.
Yes.
All 8 of these people just had their. Was this everyone's first Hall H experience? Wow.
Yes,
Well, they've all
the
talked
chat
to our
can't hear
post-crisis
us.
counselors, and they're hydrated,
Or
and
they
they're
can't
ready
hear the
to
sound for
answer some
the-
questions. But first, I just want to get your reactions. How did it feel to be on stage in Hall H, watching the trailer for the first time, and watching?
Is there no sound for the
fans react
audience?
to it?
It's fixed
Because
now.
it was
It's
pretty
fixed.
impressive.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Very, very special. Am I talking into this?
Yeah. You're talking to your mics.
It was extraordinary. I mean, I've never been in an auditorium with that many people, that much. I mean, you could feel the vibe from the room.
The
like,
bass
really,
was so loud
really
on
strong.
all the clips. The
People's
boom,
energy was
the boom, yeah.
Wow.
A little shell-shocked, I think.
A little shell-shocked? Damn. Yeah, well, we're going to show you the trailer in a second, but that is a rich, chocolatey voice on that guy. I'm going to be going to him a lot during this.
I've been eating a lot of chocolate in New
Yes,
Zealand. Yeah.
exactly. So let's let you guys watch what you didn't get to see in Hall H, the new trailer for Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
We thought the
We might have to mute that.
I'm gonna just mute this for a quick minute.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
for the so we don't get blocked by Amazon. or
Where
anything like
can everyone in the stream also hear us speaking? That's the next question.
Should we do a choir?
Yeah, let's do a choir.
3, 2, 1. No.
Okay, Nikki and
Aw.
Hen are gonna harmonize.
Carol of the Bells.
We'll sing "May It Be" by Enya. No, I'm just kidding.
In the round.
Yes. No. No.
Okay, they can hear us speaking too. We're just gonna leave it muted until the trailer's done, just to
This
be
is so
safe.
exciting. I love seeing actors out of the screen, like in real life, because they're usually nothing like the characters they're playing, and it's just so
Oh, yeah.
cool to see them in real life and see how they behave and their quirks and how they talk about the show, like how passionate they are. I loved seeing that for Game of Thrones and that big night that they had at the end of the season 8. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. And also seeing people like Henry Cavill geek out over Warhammer, and
Yeah, that sort of stuff, sure.
so I'm excited we get to see this.
Yeah.
Oh, sing Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I was at Queen concert yesterday actually. I loved it.
Oh, is that with
it
Adam
was amazing.
Lambert?
Yes,
Nice.
it was really good. Like nothing matches up to the original
Oh,
Queen, of
no,
course,
of
but
course,
Adam
legend.
Lambert is his own amazing entertainer, and
Mm.
he's such a good singer, so it was really, really good.
He has a great voice.
Yes, he has. It was epic. It was hot, but it was epic.
That's a bucket list thing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Queen is
Hey-
one of my favorite bands.
Hey, Kai.
Yes, sir.
They uploaded 22 new assets to the
Oh,
press
God.
page.
Making my
Okay.
life difficult. 22 is a lot. 22 is a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a
more
lot
than
of character
21.
posters.
Oh, back.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
They've got more characters added to the character posters now.
Cool.
Yeah, because we saw some character posters, yeah.
Hmm.
earlier.
think it's time
not
for
a
another
huge
beer.
fan.
Aha! Bring it on.
Bronwyn still looks very like Bronwyn photographs like what's her face Nazanin Boniadi photographs really well. All her pictures are really pleasing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks like we got the first copyright claim as well.
Okay.
But
Oh.
luckily, it's just a copyright claim.
Have you turned
that-
have you turned your camera
Was that
off?
the sound?
Oh shit, my camera's off. Oops.
No swearing on
Very
stream.
nice.
Oh, sorry, I guess with that.
A very nice photograph of Arian.
Yeah.
Finally, because she looks
Okay,
weird in previous
first
ones.
off,
All
it
right,
looks
we're
like
back.
you guys got put through the ringer physically. Did you guys show up thinking,
ringer.
oh, I'll be in front of a green blanket, they'll dangle a tennis ball in front of me. You guys are getting thrown in the water and falling up. How much real practical stuff did you guys have to do in this? Was it pretty exhausting?
I think there was a lot. I mean, I think for all of us, we all sort of did one form of training. We would do group sort of stunt training every morning, which
Really?
started off from the most basic steps to then learning longer fight sequences.
Yeah, you look like you were doing some pretty serious stunts in that. You're swimming away from a burning ship or something. I mean, I know that I'm assuming the gigantic monster fish was CGI, but you are in a tank swimming for your life. Like, was this a grueling shoot? What was the experience like overall for everybody?
They have those sort of animals in New Zealand. You can get them.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's great. Well, that must have really worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were really lucky that so much of it was practical. We were actually doing it. Yeah, and the swimming, we were in this absolutely enormous tank, and I'd never swum in clothes.
Oh,
and I'd
wow.
never swum in a very long dress, and that was quite something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that, again, the practical effects look insane. Now there's a bunch of questions. You guys, I know you guys have already gone through the grueling Hall H question gulag. However, there's still some more for you guys. Starting with Lloyd. Yes. Oh,
that's me.
Lloyd with the chocolatey voice. Your character is from the island kingdom of Numenor.
Well pronounced.
Did I
You could
pronounce
put a
that
little
right?
R on the end. Numenor.
Numenor. I don't want
one little
Colbert bursting in and kicking me in the teeth. Can you tell us a little bit about Numenor and its history?
Numenor, the island nation of Numenor,
Nice.
is Tolkien.
This is the worst presenter in all of existence, by the way.
It's
too
Tolkien's
young to know.
Atlantis. And
No,
where we
come
find it at
on,
the beginning of the
he's nice.
series is at the peak of civilization. It's sort of combination of the Greek, Roman empires, Byzantium, and essentially, if you were to compare them to us today, they're superhuman. They've been a lot of the lineage is half elven from Elros, and therefore they live a long life.
His voice
300
reminds me of
years,
John Bean.
350 years.
Yeah.
Incredible
I
mariners.
love how they're tailoring
but
this a
exactly
lot
where we find
to
them is the
people who
beginning
have
of
no idea
potential
what Lord of the Rings is.
polarization between a sort of
But then the majority
a
of people in that
nationalistic
room are
view
probably
and a
massive
much
fans.
more loyalty to the elven side of their nature, because they were donated the island by the elves and the Valar in the first age for fighting on the side of the elves against
that's
Morgoth.
The source of a lot of the conflict. Okay, nice. Now, Leon, you play Pharazon's son, Kemen. Did I say all of that right?
Yeah, you did. Well done.
So what can you tell
I
us
mean, you
about
have
this
to give
character?
the host a little break, though, because he is
So Kemen is
like,
the son
he's
of a
probably
very
working
powerful
there
man,
for
the
them,
Chancellor,
for
Pharazon.
not
And
necessarily just
I think with the
the
kids
Rings
of
of
powerful
Power.
people, sometimes
And knowing
they're
nothing about the Lord of the Rings.
determined
probably
to
Yeah, he probably doesn't know
match
that
or
much.
outdo the
Then
parents'
again, they would have
accomplishments.
benefited from
And
having
sometimes they feel
someone very
pretty comfortable to coast.
knowledgeable,
Colbert.
maybe.
And I feel like he is in the latter
Then
category
again,
at this stage. He's
would
been
that
born into
help?
a golden age. He's had everything he's
Say,
ever
this
wanted.
might be even better.
And he's never really had any reason to question it. I think much to his
Better
father's
for the people
chagrin.
who don't know much about the Lord of
Pharazon
the
is
Rings.
obsessed with his legacy, and Kemen's kind of been a parrot so far because what's
charming.
going on is working.
I'm glad that trust funders are being represented in Middle Earth. That's beautiful. I'm
proud
glad
to
that
do
we
it.
finally are giving them some representation. Hashtag trust fund love. All right. Emma Horvath.
Hello,
Did I say your
sir.
name right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Nailing it. Emma, you play Isildur's sister? Did I say that right?
Yes,
Isildur's sister.
Yes.
And
Tap
you
the
play-
R if you can.
Huh?
He's representing the people who
slightly.
don't know anything about this. It's fantastic.
Well, it says you are the artist of the family. Now, you actually learned how to write Numenorian letters. I mean, how did that help you prepare for the role, or?
Yeah, I mean, Arian is not a character of the body; she's a character of the mind. So my stunt was learning to draw with Daniel Reeve, who, if you don't know,
Daniel Reeve.
he's a very talented calligrapher and graphic designer, and he created Bilbo Baggins's handwriting and a lot of the maps and inscriptions,
Yeah.
everything you see in the movies. He
Everything is
designed.
Daniel Reeve. Yeah.
And there's no Numenorian alphabet yet. We've never seen it, so he had to create it.
Cool.
Wow.
And my character draws and writes quite a bit, so I would spend 3 hours a week with him, and I learned to write it, and I wrote everyone's name.
Do you feel like you could write words now in Numenorian? Like you could actually write a sentence?
Please don't make me do it.
Okay, well, no, not
Bye.
now. That'll be for a
Fair.
future con when someone comes up and goes, "Excuse me, the curve on this letter is actually correct." And look, you know, I don't want to put you through that now.
It's coming, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Tristan.
Yes, sir.
It gets pretty political on Numenor too. So, what can you tell us about your character, Pharazôn, and the role he plays in all of that?
So, Pharazôn is consul to the Queen Regent.
Another
Queen
great
Miriel.
voice.
And he's also head of the guilds. So I guess he is a true servant of Numenor, and his job would be to marry the relationship between the working people of Numenor and the Regency. He's also one of the king's men, so Numenor, even though everybody seems to think that it's an island of, you know, it's a masterclass in social cohesion, there's actually cracks in the foundation. And you have a schism between the faithful, who are celebrate and remember their Elvish roots. They can speak Quenya. Yeah. They're okay with accepting. They're very attuned to the spirituality that comes with the acceptance of their own fate, which is death. And then on the other hand, you have the king's men, which are far more numerous in Numenor, of which Pharazôn is one. And so they want to dispense with the old Elvish ways. So they want to speak Adonaic, which is the language of men. And also as well, they haven't really addressed, you know, what had the gift of the Vala, you know, the gift of dying. They don't believe in that. So for them, it's life is now. You live for now, which makes them very innovative, very forward-thinking. They're modernists. But also as well, there's an existential dread at the kernel there. And I think you see that as well. You see the Numenorian psyche, I think, is embodied when you see Pharazôn, when you see the decadence and the, he's almost like a living statue, dare I say it myself. You know, trying to see how he would, if he was to be carved out of stone, what would he look like? You know, and I think...
Already thinking of his legacy.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Now, speaking of Numenor, Charlie Vickers, this is the first time that Numenor, as you said, Tolkien's Atlantis, has been seen on screen. So what was it like to be there on set? How extensive was the set? How much did they actually build that you could kind of react to and experience?
It was massive. I think one of the most amazing things about working on a show like this is you can fully interact with the worlds that your character is living in. I remember getting there on our first day of Numenor, and it's a pretty simple scene where we get off a boat and walk up through a port. But just seeing the scale of what was in front of us was incredible. It was a fully interactive city with alleyways down to...
It was like a practical set. You could go wander and get lost and things.
And you could, there was details, like there were tiny little bits of incense burning in the alleyways and little herbs and flowers.
So it even had the scent, like you felt like you were truly visiting the city.
Yeah. I think someone fell into a canal as well at one stage.
Now, Cynthia Adai Robinson?
Correct.
Yes? In that new trailer we watched, we saw your character, Queen Regent Miriel.
Miriel. It's that pesky tapped R again.
Yeah, this tapped R. Well, you say, it is here the moment we feared. That is an incredible line. And the trailer kind of stops for a second so that line can land. Can you tell us anything more about what that line means to Miriel without spoiling stuff? How much can you say about that?
You know, we always feel like we have to speak in code a little bit.
Yes,
you're
exactly.
Trying to find the
I know you're
diplomatic
walking a tightrope
answer.
right now.
Yes. Well, definitely when viewers tune into the show, they will know exactly what it means.
Okay.
But I think, you know, in terms of where we find Queen Regent Miriel, there is that foreboding sense of, you know, something is about to happen, you know, that sense of worry. And so, you know, we see this civilization at its peak, but there are those sort of rumblings in the streets and just a sense of impending, you know, maybe it's doom, but just a sense that something is happening.
And she's wired into that.
Very much so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it is a great line.
Yeah, it is.
a great line.
That's a really cool line. Now, Morfid, I wanted to ask you about this because there have been some, I've been walking around, and this has happened to other friends of mine who have done superhero films, fantasy series. There's been some stunning cosplay already for Galadriel. And I know that the fans are really excited to see you kind of step into the shoes. So these two questions. How was it preparing to take on such an iconic role, and this has happened to a couple of friends of mine. Have you seen any cosplayers where you're like, oh, that costume's actually better than the one I wore? Like, that's happened to a couple of friends. Like, we should use that one. So what's that experience been like?
It's been just a dream. You know, I grew up with these books and these stories, and definitely pretended to be like most of the characters in the films at different times. I think there's probably some embarrassing video footage of that somewhere. The cosplay is just incredible. And actually, when we were making Galadriel's armor, Kate Hawley, who designed it all, she loves all that stuff, and she was like, I'm going to make it difficult for them. I'm going to make them really like have to work. And so when I see this cosplay, I'm like, I know what a feat it is. And yeah, it's such an honor.
Right. That's right, because they've got to build it. They've got to reverse engineer it from stills or like a 2-second clip. They've got to somehow try to put that together.
Yeah, there was one person who made the armor just from an image, which just incredible.
Okay, well, Maxim.
There he is.
You play the iconic Isildur.
Isildur.
Oh,
nice.
Which fans are very, very excited to see on screen. So what was that moment like when you learned that, oh, you got the role? Like, how did you feel?
I was in a field in Croatia shooting another show, caked in blood, and my agent called me and was like...
So hang on, you were shooting a show. You were
shooting a different
just in a field caked in blood.
I was shooting a different show.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's an important detail. Don't... In future interviews, don't leave that part out. Don't go, I was in a field in Croatia caked in blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Mention the show.
And yeah, my agent called me and was like, you're going to be in Lord of the Rings. And I was like silent. And then he was like, by the way, there's an NDA to sign, so you can't tell anyone. So I celebrated by myself in a hotel room, and it was a bit... It was a bit surreal. But it's, an amazing experience with such an amazing cast as well. And we've all become like a family, I guess.
Yeah. It's such a massive group. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm playing his father, Elendil, so when he says it's like a family, it's a joyful family.
It's a very
joyful. He's not a problem child in any way, shape, or form.
It's really charming.
It is a complex relationship between father and son, as all relationships between fathers and sons are.
All I can say is, don't always blame the parents.
Right. This was a really difficult panel to get ready for because there's so much I want to talk about, and there's so much we can't talk about. Thank you all for walking this tightrope with me, and I just wanted to ask you, like, what can audiences expect when we finally get to see the Rings of Power on September 2nd?
I think it's going to really run an emotional gamut, because even for us, you know, we finally recently have started to see some of the footage ourselves, because, you know, we also hadn't seen much, even though we were there and we made it. But, you know, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to be shocked, you're going to be in awe. And to me, the best stories really capture the full range of human emotion. So I think you're going to have all the feels, is what I would say.
Well said.
Wow. Well, hey, that was amazing, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. September 2nd can't come quickly enough. Oh, hey, you know what? A little birdie just told me that we should watch this trailer one more time. So roll it again.
All right. We're going to mute that. Did we lose Rory? Is Rory still here?
These guys are cute.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Okay. I'll just
that was a nice chat.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't think there was anything huge, but it's cool that they all seem to... I mean, that they're at least up on their talking points, which is fantastic.
Oh, especially, I was really surprised. Tristan Gravel, knows his stuff very, very well, and puts it very eloquently, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's really encouraging.
Yeah.
I don't remember, maybe this is going to be a weird thing to say, but I don't remember actors on Game of Thrones ever going this deeply into the background of their characters.
I don't think there's anything
huge,
I
but
don't know.
it's cool that they all seem.
It happened in some cases, like in the movies, that actors were really, really versed in this kind of stuff. But not everybody. There are people. It should be said there are people playing characters based on pre-existing literature that don't know the literature very well and still turn out very good performances. So that sort of thing also happens.
Yeah, but now they have been like they've been doing this for a while now, so they even if they weren't before, they would have to be now. They would have been force fed it
Necessarily, like
for
Elijah.
a while.
Elijah would never. Elijah would never read the Lord of the Rings. Never. So it happens.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, they're
so
cool.
far. I don't think because the chat is asking, is this it? I don't think so. I think there are more panels, like because there are more actors to talk to.
Yeah, I think for sure. And there's also other hosts. I know that Felicia Day was mentioned as one of them, and I don't think we've seen her yet.
Yeah,
as a host of the live stream. So
yeah, and I mean, you got to give Oswald a break. Like he's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. He probably hasn't done that much. Like I feel like I haven't seen him in ages, but he was in King of Queens. That's what I remember him as mostly, and I can understand him being nervous. Like the room is jam-packed of people who know and love the Lord of the Rings, and then you have all these actors, this massive show.
Yep.
So I mean, I would be crazy nervous. I don't think I'll ever get used to that sort of stage performance thing. Like being in front of camera is one thing, but stage performance, man, that's terrifying. People, do I have to answer questions?
Yeah.
Oh my god, scary.
Roxham in the chat just pointed out they got Oswald because he has a reputation as a nerd, which is absolutely spot on. There, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they were going for that, they could have just went with Hen.
I mean, they could have gone with any one of us. I would have loved to go there just to be a host, man.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con, please call me next year.
Yeah, please call Nikki.
I would have loved to have had you there, sitting next to me, being able to see your reaction as we saw everything live.
Absolutely.
I'm sure when people post their videos, you're going to hear different sections of the crowd reacting, differently. With some were pretty hyped up, depending on what part that they were watching throughout that. It was crazy. I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Oh man, I bet. So I see that the stream has ended here. So are they going to start a new stream? Is that what's happening?
Oh,
yep.
maybe
There's a new one. There's a new one.
Oh
no, sorry, I lied. But it's still live.
I think there is a new one, except they were simultaneous, perhaps.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So presumably that one will have wrapped as well.
Oh, really?
And you guys, you have to remember there is a lot of panels and there's a lot of stuff happening. So they can't get a host that's specific.
There's a new stream here.
There's a new stream. Okay, cool. They can't get a host that's specifically aware of each one, like that is versed in everyone. That would be too expensive. San Diego Comic-Con is a massive production, yes.
Can you put a link in chat, please, as well?
Money. So yeah, just be nice to the hosts too. I mean, they're
and he's clearly being
Tolkien experts.
And he's clearly being fed talking points to some extent. Like, talk about this, don't talk about that. Talk about this, don't talk about that.
Yeah,
it's
for
difficult.
sure.
It's difficult.
I just heard.
But I'm really impressed by what I've seen and heard.
Yeah.
And we have confirmation on Daniel Reeve, which is nice. That was very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Daniel Reeve did some great work with both the writing, everything that's written.
Show to you again. But be
There's
sure to
writing
watch
on
Lord
it.
of the Rings, The Rings of
what's
Power,
happened.
September 2nd. Only
There's
on
one
Thank you so
stream
much for
on
watching.
YouTube, one
Enjoy.
stream on TikTok, one stream on Instagram.
Oh wow.
Oh, and they're different ones. So
Yeah.
you have to choose? That sucks.
At last.
Yeah, we'll have to get that.
You can rewatch them later, don't you?
You should be able to.
And not if they're live. If they're live on TikTok, you can't rewatch.
Oh wow.
Bad Amazon. Bad.
Okay.
And I don't think you can, like, they can download it and I think and post it.
I'm
I
sure
guess
someone would.
if it's long, then you can only post 3-minute videos on TikTok. I think now.
Lord of
maybe.
the Rings on Prime is live right now.
Where?
On Instagram.
Oh, I think it just
Yeah,
ended.
they
Oh, they're
are.
playing the trailer. I think it's finished.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's.
I think they ran all three simultaneously. After all, what's
Yeah.
the point of splitting it in three if not to save time? So you do
Of
them
course.
at the same time.
Yeah, and every question was obviously scripted. Yes, they usually are. I remember I was a mic runner for a Comic-Con in Australia once, and we were
Oh, wow.
specifically asked if, because this was when it was during the time with Miranda Kerr and Orlando Bloom and everything, and we were told to not hold the mic against people who were asking questions about Miranda Kerr and what's his name, Justin Bieber. So if anyone asked those questions, we had to remove the mic and say you can't ask that question. So it's very much scripted, and they have the right to ask, do not ask these questions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of what I find it's kind of eye-rolling to me. Oh, this was so practical, right? Tell us how practical it was.
Okay. So apparently the person that stood out a lot on the other live streams is Charles Edwards.
I mean,
So that's
that came through on the for me at least. That came through on the fandom article.
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
He
I
was
found
terrific at the San Diego Comic-Con panel.
Was he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I found
he was
I
great.
found-
Benjamin Walker was also great. Him and Stephen went back and forth reciting the poem of Gil-galad being an elven king.
Nice.
And that was another pretty cool moment as well. I mean, they didn't stand out as much as Owen and Arthur or Sophia and Novete, but if you remove them from that, they probably stood out the most to me during that. And then I felt bad, as Nick was saying, sometimes, based on questions and timings of things, you don't have time to fit everything in because there's another panel coming on right after. We were in the last group of actors coming up on stage, and we only had a chance to talk to Charlie Vickers and Morfydd Clark, and the other people that were on that panel got ignored because we ran out of time and we had to get them going to take some questions from the fans. So Liam Wadham,
there's
we didn't get to talk to at all.
Yeah, I
It
fixed
was
it.
crazy.
It's fixed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kyle's side on this. When Charles Edwards was interviewed for fandom, it was right after I think Benjamin Walker as Gil-galad, and I found the Edwards interview much more informative, but also a lot more straightforward. Had less bravura about it. Oh yeah, Gil-galad is so important and so awesome, and the Charles Edwards thing was much more like, this is his character. This is what there was more,
So just as
so
an
it doesn't
update,
surprise me.
the stream on Instagram is now finished as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they were simultaneous.
Do those get archived?
I don't think
Do we
they'd
know?
be doing anything with the cast for too much longer because I think they've got somewhere else they need to be real quick.
Sure. Yeah.
It was nice, like in the teaser itself, where it was nice hearing the character speaking voices. Much the same could be said for hearing the cast on their own. Very nice speaking voices,
Yeah.
especially Lloyd Owens.
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, it's nice to have a good base in this.
Yeah.
Do the cast? I have a question for Varking. Do the cast, because a lot of the time when they do this, they also have booked in times for signing things and taking pictures and stuff like that. We know what happened with the guy from Stranger Things who was so ridiculously overbooked, and then he was yelled at by one of the crew members saying, "Can you please stop talking to everyone and be so nice to people because we have a big line and we're overbooked?" And then he still took the time to talk to the fans. Do they is that what they're doing now, or have they done that already? You're muted, by the way.
That's a good point. Are you talking about, have they had time to do some autograph signings yet?
And photos as well.
Well, yes. We had time to do a little bit of photo taking the other day. I don't think publicly like everybody else got to do it. But I've shared some pictures with me and Sophia, who's an absolute, just an amazing person to talk to.
I saw those. Looks amazing. Oh, I'm so
And
happy
you look
for
so
you.
happy.
I'm so happy for you. It's awesome.
Yeah, we were waiting in line later at night. We're still waiting to go to Hall H or get our badges for it. And it was like every time somebody came up and they were like, we saw your post on Twitter. Like, what was that like? And I was like texting my daughter
telling her like and she knew coming into this how stoked I was to be coming to Comic-Con, and it was like every single time somebody brought it up, I'm just an emotional Italian man, and I kept getting like tears in my eyes talking about it like over and over. But I have this cool thing I picked up for maybe something happening later today, and maybe if they were doing autographs, maybe I can get like the whole cast to sign my Rings of Power rain jacket. That would be kind of cool if that maybe happened
so
in a few
excited
hours.
for you. Oh my god, that's wicked.
Damn.
But no, at Comic-Con they didn't get to do that. But I think that there's something coming up where people will have the opportunity to later today.
Cool.
Also, if you have any questions for Varking, put them down in chat.
If he has, do you have time to do that, Varking?
Yeah. I'm skipping a lunch.
Cool.
And I'm going with Nutty Buddies.
Nice. Classic.
And I'm going to finish off this Mountain Dew, so I don't have to be anywhere until 3 o'clock my time. So I've got 2 hours.
Cool. Also, for the trailer, I know I missed the 8 on the poll. That's my bad maths right there. But
that's a good point, though. Should we do more breaking down of the remainder of the trailer?
Sure. Yep, we can get to that.
Well,
Do you guys?
we can break
We
down
were like halfway
that
through.
Balrog cannot be Doran's Bane.
Yeah, I mean
Because
that's.
It's not. It's from the
That
prologue.
Balrog isn't, but there are at least 2 allusions. 2.
Oh, I didn't know you
One.
knew.
Which means who the other Balrog might be, we shall see.
Hey, Varking, I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this or not, but
I'll do it
I
anyway.
believe in Jay Bayona's Instagram where he announced the trailer. He wrote something like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't have it open right now. I think he wrote that this was the final trailer.
Yeah,
Can
he
you-
wrote the final trailer is out.
Okay.
Full on
Can you
live.
can you confirm whether that's something they said as well, that this is the last trailer we're getting?
I have a press release in my email inbox that I have not looked through yet about the trailer. I'm going to put myself on mute. Y'all can talk about whatever, and then I'll come right back, and I'll tell you if it mentions it in there. But, whoa, bro, look at that fire merch you're wearing, Fellowship.
Look at that. Yeah,
Where's mine?
let's shout that
I went to Shill So Hard University and graduated with honors in like 2 years, and I don't have merch like that. Dang.
Amazon
Yeah,
Poppy,
no.
Dwarf Lord, fake merch, something.
Poppy everything. Let me go ahead and check that.
There's going to be a couple questions.
Nikki,
here
you're
for you when
muted.
back.
She's
I
just showing
have
off
your
her merch.
merch too that you're gonna hate, Marking. It says Team L.
Team L.
Because we're on Team L.
The girls should, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I could never hate your merch because it's yours, but if you had a dwarf one, maybe I'd be interested.
I
in
do
that.
have a dwarf one. It's in my shop.
Huh.
I do. And a Team Man one as well. I can't
Also-
say Team Numenor because it's copyrighted. And I can't say Team Sauron because it's also copyrighted. And we don't want to.
Can you say
something
Team Westerness, though? Instead of
Oh,
Numenor?
good question. I would have to Google it. I don't want to get in trouble with Amazon. I want to be well behaved here.
So,
Then again, if they want any advice on how to make their merch look awesome, they can always ask.
So, should we go back to the trailer then?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, maybe we should.
There's going to be a couple of questions here for Varking when he gets back, so I'll try to keep
Okay,
track
fine,
of
then we'll
those.
do that.
Yeah.
It looks like 3% said out of 10, 3% said 1 to 2, 6% said 3 to 4, 24% said 5 to 7, and of course no one said 8. The 67% said 9 to 10. So that is looking pretty.
How would you guys rate it?
What, the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah. An 8 or a 9, like the previous one. I like the previous one a lot. I'm not sure about this one.
I think
it's good.
For me, I gave the last one a 9, and I'll give this one. Actually, I think I give it 8.5. So I'll have to probably stick with 8.5 because the last one gave me more chills, if you know what I mean. It got me more hyped. This is just like more of like a okay, this is what's happening now, and with lots of shots. But that one was, like, exciting. Like, is there to amp you up. So
Yeah.
so I think
I feel the same thing. I gave it a 10, the last one. I'll give this one an 8 because like this one is more tailored to like more a widespread audience. It has a lot more content, a lot more action, but it doesn't feel as epic. And it's the epic scenes that I'm chasing. I don't know what it is about me. I'm obsessed with epic scenes, but it's just I want that feeling of my heart bursting out of my chest that I got when I saw The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring the first time. And I got that from that trailer. And I
Yeah.
didn't get it from this one, not yet. But I will watch it again and I will feel again. Yeah.
I feel like this trailer, one of the things that I liked better with previous trailers is this one seems to be very focused on like, you know, the evil. There's lots of I don't know, war shots.
Foreboding.
Very foreboding, like raids, people are being scared. So this one seems to be very action heavy as well, and also like, you know, they're trying to build the tension up, whereas the previous ones I felt like the teasers, they were more just, you know, setting the stage and showing us how beautiful this world is and trying to build on the nostalgia of Middle Earth itself, perhaps.
Yeah.
So they completely bought me with that.
Yeah.
I like this one too, but like Nikki said, I think I'm chasing that feeling of like magic and the magic that a trailer can evoke in me, and I think the last one was really successful at that.
But if they had that Morgoth shot with the two trees, like any
Wow.
magic there.
We might yet see that in a trailer, because that's the thing about having like a cinematic television show trailer is you can have 3 or 4 different trailers that focus on completely different plot points. So we're gonna see more and more as we go.
Yeah, I think you guys are wrong, and you suffer from things in the moment, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about what we saw that got you hyped up in a previous week, part of that was because we were expecting a 1-minute teaser trailer because of what leaked online early.
Yep.
So when we got 2.5 minutes of solid to really good footage, you went from expecting something down here and you got something up here, so it feels even better. Everybody was expecting something today, even if it
I will
wasn't.
disagree though, because I didn't expect anything when I came online the last time we did this, which was last week. I didn't know anything. I had no idea. Like usual, I'm absolutely clueless because
Yeah, you need to
I
check my
have
message
so
board
much to do, and I don't. Yeah, so I didn't know anything. So my reactions to that was 100% genuine.
Why did Lakitia react like that with a?
Oh, sorry. No, I just saw that we just got a link to the Facebook Q&A with the cast, which was another round of actors. It's got, I see that it's
Megan,
got
Dylan, Sarah.
Charles Edwards and Benjamin Walker, I believe, among others.
That one should, I don't know, like it's weird that they do that. I'm hoping that they will post the other ones on here as well, but it's because the other ones, it's not possible to rewatch. Like they are live, and then you don't have they don't have like a catalog where you can go in and see previous lives.
I think they might post all of them like on YouTube or something eventually.
Yeah, eventually they will. Yeah.
So we're watching this one now.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I mean, it's half an hour long though. So.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, but not all together. It's probably a little bit shorter. But this one has Charles Edwards, Benjamin Walker, Rob Arameo, and the 2 dwarves.
Let's do a poll and see what people want to do. Fellowship, can you do that?
Cool.
So in the meantime, there's a couple questions here for you, Varking, if you're available for that.
What are the 2 options?
Panel 2 or trailer breakdown? The first question for you, Varking, is from Priscilla. Are you happy with the Balrog?
So it's so mixed, right? So in my initial reaction, and I can't say like where I first saw or who was around, but my initial reaction to seeing that, they had that September 2nd Rings of Power on Prime Video. And people around me were clapping like this was the end, and then they put up the Prime Video with the blue splash background, and you were really certain this was the end. And then all of a sudden the screen changes and you see the Balrog, and instantly
did we lose him?
Yeah, but it looks like
Instant what? Instant what?
What happened?
Yeah, we lost Varking, but we gained me. So
There's a penguin.
That is quite the trade.
Oh, not.
And a Rory.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it looks like people want the panel
And
too.
Ostra as well.
So
And Ostrowando.
looks
Look,
like
we got a bunch of people here.
Ostrowando's here as well.
Oh,
Hello.
Varking's back. I just can't hear him.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
We can hear. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Everybody like disappeared for me. I don't know what happened.
Somebody got a haircut. Look at
But-
this guy.
Basically,
So
the Balrog flashed on screen.
which one do you guys want
The
to do?
hairs on my
So
arms
looks like we're
stood
doing the
up, 'cause
panel.
immediately I
Or
was
we're
like,
going to
that
be
means
doing Penguin,
bad-ish
Ostrowando, and everyone
my
else.
people.
Hold on.
We're going.
Hold on. Can you not hear Varking?
No.
Okay, he's talking away, so.
Let me come back.
Okay. He's going to leave and come back.
Okay, he's even. Okay. We're going to show panel 2, right?
Yeah. Is there a link for that?
Yep. Nikita, do you know which one it is? Okay, I think you spoke about it. I think it's this one here. Okay, here it is. So we're gonna put the second one. It's half an hour long.
Okay. That's the
Actually,
Facebook.
looks like
Is that the
options
Facebook one?
gone. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm missing one Varking and one Lakitia here.
Yeah.
Nikita's gone permanently.
Is she?
So
right.
So, but we're going to be. So apparently, Charles Edwards is great.
Okay.
So we're gonna watch that now, and hopefully that does not disappoint. So everybody else in the panel, just use that Facebook link to watch it from. I think it's easiest.
Okay.
Then Carl be getting it on stream shortly.
It's on now.
Where is it? Let me find it.
Also,
Okay.
Jeez.
There it
Oh, there we go.
So we've got it up. Varking's back as well. Well, this one looks like it has Sophia on it. It says perfect for Varking.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Do you want me to hit play? Are we good?
Yeah, but everybody, it might be a bit laggy, so if you want to use the one in Discord.
play.
Okay.
Hello,
Can
everybody.
you hear that?
I'm Felicia Day, and I'm coming to you live from San Diego Comic-Con.
better than the
It's been
last
1,000
Okay.
days since we had Comic-Con, and I've really missed it. I'm even more excited to be here with Prime Video, talking with some of the cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This incredible cast I get to speak with, and I'm going to introduce them one by one. First, we have Robert Aramayo playing Elrond, who's an elf. Hi.
He's an elf.
We have Benjamin Walker playing High King Gil-galad.
The same.
Again, elf. We have Charles Edwards playing Lord Celebrimbor.
He's an elf.
Also elf. Okay,
Lord.
so we have elf. Guess what? We're going to change it up because we have Owain Arthur playing Prince Durin the Fourth.
Correct. Hello.
Dwarf.
Dwarf.
All right, and then last but not least, we have Sophia Nomvete playing Princess Diza.
Princess Disa, a dwarf. Hello.
Dwarf, yeah. So elf, dwarf. I get the best room, you guys. We all were just in Hall H, which I think holds about 6,000, 7,000 people. That was kind of a big deal, guys. Is this your first Hall H? Is it your first Comic-Con?
It's my first time to America.
No.
Ooh, yeah.
What?
How's it going so far?
It's all right.
Stay away from the school.
It's not always like
It's incredible. So what a way to start a journey and start an introduction to this wonderful country.
I think that panel was probably the most epic and this is my 12th Comic-Con, you guys. 12 Don't look like I'm old or something, Ben.
And
No,
I'm impressed by your longevity.
oh boy, that's a terrible thing to
I'm not
say to a
helping at all.
lady.
Oh,
digging, keep digging.
So sorry.
No, but it was.
I just started. This is going very wrong.
Not
Want
old,
to get
good
out of the hole? Put
longevity.
down the
Wow.
shovel.
It was one of the best panels I've ever seen. It was stunning. What was your reaction to the wraparound video? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was intense, but amazing. It was only right at the end when they put the lights on, and then I realized how many people were actually there.
But I was the same. I thought it only went up to a quarter of the hall.
Yeah.
And then the lights came on, and then it came on, and then, I mean, people were this big at the back.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes on and on. It's a vast sea.
I don't think they were dwarfs either.
No. Oh. to do the scaling thing, which I'm sure you
Yeah,
do
exactly.
a lot.
We might use that.
Yeah. Charles, have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
No, it's my first time, and that was a hell of a way to start. I mean, it was extraordinary. The energy in there is really quite something.
Yeah, the fans absolutely adored it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the footage, was that the first time you'd seen some of the footage?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
First time I have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, it was pretty phenomenal. In fact, we had an exclusive trailer for San Diego Comic-Con that was premiered, and people at home didn't see it. I'm just kidding. I'm going to show it to you, okay? Did you see that? I tease people.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a meanie. All right, you guys watch it and be dazzled.
Can we fast forward through this because we kind of saw it already?
Yes. That's a great idea. Good thinking, Hen.
That is what I do.
You sure do, don't you?
I'm seeing Lakitia talking, but I'm not hearing Lakitia talking.
Yeah, I've got her muted by accident. One sec. Here we go.
Oh, this trailer, y'all.
You're gonna pay for that.
It was on purpose. I'm not gonna lie.
Rude.
Yeah.
Sophia, had you seen any of that before?
No.
I had a glimpse of it, and I cried a lot.
Nice.
I'm a crier.
Really?
She's such a sweetheart.
You know,
I love her.
we all know how much this took. We know the length of time that we spent together. These are our friends. These are the people who held my baby and were friends to my family. And suddenly seeing all of our hard work of course, the creatives, the design team, the producers, everybody, so many cogs in the wheel. Yeah, so it was a real emotional moment, and we're so excited to be able to share it and invite the entire world, fans of old and fans new, to come and embark on this journey that's been with us for so long.
No, there's a beautiful camaraderie between you guys. Is it because you've been shooting for how long? For years almost, right?
Well, in the nature of being in New Zealand, we were kind of sequestered together, and our shepherds, JD and Patrick, had kind of built this familial attitude about it. We had the singular vision, and
that's nice.
Luckily we're all nice and we get along. And but yeah, we were stuck together, and we had to get
no
along.
choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're stuck
Yeah.
in New Zealand. I guess it's not the worst place.
It was
right?
fantastic. I mean, the crew that was there and how that community welcomed us and welcomed the show was really priceless.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Rob, you play Elrond.
Yes.
And he's a pretty iconic character. He's probably the character that most people would be most familiar with, or one of them.
One of them, yeah.
So stepping into those shoes must have been a little intimidating. What did you do to prepare for this role?
Well, I do want to correct my earlier statement about him being an elf, too.
Okay.
Person on Reddit is now sad. No, they're mad because they were just typing it. They're like, excuse me, I see you.
Yeah, but it was a total dream come true, you know. I love Elrond. I've always been really intrigued about him. And I really was interested to take a character that, you know, is in such a different place in the Third Age, in the books that we know, and sort of trace it back and see where he came from. And, you know, it's a very famous past, which was really exciting to explore.
Cool.
Yeah, and you did a lot of Elvish research. Did you study Elvish? I mean, I'm sure you had to do some in the show, right?
Yeah, yes, and yes. You know, I you know, when you explore the language, it's just another way of understanding the professor, you know, and you know, his work. So it was all kind of part of that. But I started by just being like, right, I'll find the Elrond bits, you know.
Of course, every actor's like, where do I do? What I do? What I do? Am I dead? Okay, great.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Right. But then you know, once you delve into the first stage material, you realize that the texture to it and everything is connected to everything, you know, and so you know, most of that stuff is directly or indirectly related to Elrond. So it was like it was fun to sort of play historian, you know.
Yeah, you're kind of a nexus. Your character is kind of a thread throughout all the stories. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Owain.
Yes.
You're so much trouble. I don't know how your mom raised you.
Good boy, and my mum is the best in the world.
I definitely want to have a drink with you later. Anyway, so I hardly recognize you now because of what you look like on screen. You play Prince Durin the Fourth, and
Correct.
you have a much different look. How was that process?
Yeah, I mean, it was a process.
Like, how much of a process?
It was a 3-hour process each morning, and a 45-minute process to de-rig, to take everything off. But yeah, it was an interesting, at times quite emotional. I'm not going to lie. We weren't expecting that as an answer.
Why?
Right?
Well,
it's just
what
kind
emotion?
of just because of the of being sat down there for hours and getting to know the guys who do the prosthetics and kind of getting to know them and watching Durin. There were various stages of. The nose was the first thing, and it instantly turned me into an old man with a massive smile. And then after that, the wig went on, which kind of, let's say hello to my mum again. I looked like my mum.
Only halfway through the rehearsal of this dramatic scene that we realised that you look like your mother.
I think yes, yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah. I look beautiful.
You did look beautiful.
Thank you. But it wasn't until every piece there was these two, we called them the nose cones. There were two little bits that come just above the nostrils here, not mine, but Durin's. And the second they went on, I was like, there he is. There he is. And then I was ready to kind of put my clobber on and go on set.
Did someone have to feed you during that process? You had to be called before 3 hours before everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of beard I've eaten whilst eating my lunch, kind of, because it just gets caught in the food. And believe it or not, I ended up just having smoothies.
Oh.
And nuts. Remember the nuts?
Terrible diet.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. What about
the lips had to come out like this.
Yeah.
And that was the only way I could eat them. And then I had to lick the salt off my fingers like this. It was a whole thing. I mean, I'm not going to waste your time here now.
No, you talked a lot about it. I want to know more, though. I want
How
more.
was it going to the bathroom?
Oh, yeah, I told Charlie this story last night. I'm not going to mind myself having a wee.
You know? Okay.
But it did. There are various. Oh, Christ. There are various zips and costumes that get in the way. And, I had to listen for it to hit the water. Let's move it on.
Wow!
Let's move on. Let's
Now
move
you
on.
know what it's like to be pregnant.
But also, I mean...
Amen.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, Sophia, I cannot tell you what a thrill it was to see you up on the screen as the first female dwarf depicted from this world. I mean, how amazing is that?
It's a miracle, both personally and career-wise. You know, she is the first female dwarf that we have ever seen on screen. And so to be attached to Tolkien's works in presenting that revolutionary television moment is an honour to host. It is necessary for the world's, for every single race and world that we live in, for females to be present. And so to uncover and discover and build her was an utter joy and an honour.
And she's a boss of Durin.
I can't wait to see you guys' relationship. I just want to say something personally, selfishly. For 6 years, I played World of Warcraft, and my secondary character was named Sugarlina. She was a dwarf, and she looked just like you. And I literally started crying when I saw you.
Oh, my goodness.
So you have healed many a raid, Sophia, for me. So you also had a really interesting story about your audition. Could you share that with the audience? Because I think everyone needs to know this. You are so incredibly powerful, just as a person.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And I really appreciate that. It's so great to be able to have so many faces now to extend the accessibility for people like me. To see themselves staring back at them in such a huge franchise. But the story of the audition is that I auditioned for this role 2 days away from giving birth. So, my daughter was very much engaged, and there were many a midwife on speed dial saying, "Please don't go into London." But there I was, and I remember J.A. Bayona having to kind of haul me out of my camera test chair, and they were so grateful for me to be there. I then got the role, was gifted this amazing role when my daughter was then born and she was just 5 days old, and we travelled to New Zealand when she was 10 weeks old, and there is a load of images of Deesa's incredible costume, and you'll see kind of little panels and stitching to the side which were all removable, so in between takes, in between scenes, I was able to feed my baby and then shoot straight back on. Like, you know, that's what this role is representing. There's far more than what we see on screen for me to be able to play her, and huge kudos for the team at Amazon for supporting a new mother in this way, so that I could do it all.
Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm literally getting chills and tearing up, because it's a hard time in your life.
We can do it too.
And we can do it. Yeah,
we can do
absolutely.
it too. And yeah.
Shivers. So Ben, your story's not going to be as good. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not.
It is. You play High King Gil-galad, sorry.
Yes.
And in this trailer we just watched, your character says, "Today our days of peace begin."
Right.
It seems like maybe that's not. It's like, hey, I'm 2 days to retirement. You know, like,
Right.
Is there a threat?
Where's the story going to go?
Yeah, where is it?
But that's quintessential Tolkien, the inevitable resurrection of evil.
Yeah.
And Gil-galad in particular is aware of that. And if you go back to the books, the number of times he's ahead of the curve and kind of see darkness coming from around the corner. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, and your character is so haunted, and you know, I'm not going to spoil anything for people who are not super nerds of the source material, but you know, you have a very tormented, interesting arc, and how do you play that? And you know where it goes, but you got to play the moment. How do you kind of ground yourself in that?
Well, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it is hard won. I mean, that part of what we loved as the elves was the research. Every little nugget, even if it's not specifically about your character, it's a war that he would have lived through. And when you factor in immortality, you have to ask the question, when you've seen everyone you know and love die over and over and over again, how do you muster the strength for hope? When you've lost love over and over again, how do you fall in love again? And they do, with Middle-earth.
Can you narrate every book for me to sleep to every single night? Because I could listen to you speak.
Good night.
I fall asleep when he speaks all the time.
Yeah.
Owain, go to your room. Owain,
tell us that
go back
story
to your
again,
room.
Now,
Also, when we're acting, he's just out.
it feels like a very serious set. Like no one's having any fun.
Oh, no.
Awful.
Yeah. Awful.
No, we always have a good time.
So Charles, Celebrimbor is a really fascinating character from the lore because you're so important.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I mean, should I say it? I'm going to say it. He's very involved in making the rings.
No, don't say that.
Oh, spoiler.
Fired.
Wait, and he's a lord.
Lord
so,
Celebrimbor.
Lord of technically, he's the Lord.
Not going to do any spoilers. Anyway, but you know, there's not a lot written about Lord Celebrimbor in the book. So how? I mean, as a nerd, you want to research, but there's not a lot there. How did you fill that out?
Well, that's the best bit about this character is that there's a blueprint. There's more than one. There's a couple of 2 or 3 sketches of what he might have been and when he might have been, who his parent, what his heritage was. There are different versions. The Council of Elrond in Lord of the Rings, that is when we first, people who don't know his name from elsewhere, is when we first hear him named.
Wow.
And the other time is with the Doors of Durin at Moria, when Gandalf's trying to get in. And Celebrimbor is responsible for the sort of, what's it called, marquetry kind of beautiful signs on the door. So those are his 2 major contributions to the Tolkien world of Tolkien. But he's because you have an opportunity to fill in the gaps and to make your own decisions, informed, of course, always by the world in which he's surrounded. But little footnotes, little notes made in the margin saying should have made him this. You know, Christopher Tolkien often referred to that about Celebrimbor particularly.
Yeah.
You know, my father probably would have, if he'd remembered that he'd said that before, he would have done this with the character. So there's room. There's room.
So much research, and were there experts on set for you to consult with, to ask questions?
There were, yeah. Griff.
And Rob.
There's that name again.
And Rob Aramea. Very true.
I mean, yeah, I want to say you definitely are thorough. Did you come into this being a huge geek about Tolkien, and then maybe, or did it just create a passion for you?
A bit of both, really. I didn't know anything about the fair stage when I took the job. But I loved Lord of the Rings. And so when I got it, was kind of like a really great excuse. I mean, but what I said earlier was true. Like, I just felt like it was, you know, it was like if he were here, he would know more than anyone. You know what I mean? So, like, I just kind of took the stance that it would be most fruitful to learn as much as I could and to sort of just throw myself into it, you know? And I loved it because then it sort of sparked debates on set, you know?
Sounds like the best set. You're having arguments over Tolkien mythology.
Debates.
And we get paid for it. Yeah. We go to work as we do at work.
You said Griff. Griff Jones.
That you do have the opportunity to interpret and reinterpret and reinvest.
Man,
and
I'm so
every
jealous.
time you go
I wish I
back
was
to the
there.
source material,
Someday
you learn something new.
Yeah.
So that's incredibly.
One day.
That's the gift that I keep getting from it.
Yeah. And words mean something different. You know, if you're talking about oaths or curses or promises, you know, these words mean something different in this world, you know, because there's magic in this world, both, you know, and so things like that, rediscovering things and seeing how they fitted into our world was like a really interesting sort of thing to talk about, as we did, all of us together.
Yeah. Did any of you, I mean, not mythology aside, did any of you have any other skills that you had to train to do on set? Fighting, dwarving?
Calligraphy. We had calligraphy lessons to write Elvish, and I've always been very into it myself. And so I was very excited to do that. And as a kid, I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings. So age 9, 10, I was copying his Elvish script as a child.
Wow.
I wrote my own play of Lord of the Rings. I had I had the soundtrack album for the cartoon movie.
Can we do it?
I wanted to.
Who
Yeah.
would I be?
Let's do your play.
Thank God I found people who are interested in actually doing it.
It's taken this long.
I've got the script somewhere, but
You dig it up.
dig it out.
Absolutely.
But that speaks to as well to the guy who taught us calligraphy was this amazing guy called Dan.
Yeah, he's great.
And just going and spending time with him and seeing what he was working on in other worlds and things like that was like a great part of
It's amazing.
the process.
I had to learn how to walk in a long gown.
I mean, that definitely, we know that is acquired skill. Yeah.
Sounds
You've got
rough.
50 actors just acting their hearts out, cranes, wind machines, and you fall down the stairs as the king. You got to start.
Hopefully they got that for the gag reel. I'm so sorry. We cannot. I could speak to all of you for hours more.
Well,
you
we
are
can.
such fascinating, wonderful people.
We will.
Yeah. Okay. But thank you for being here. Thank you, audience, for watching. And I hope that you remembered the trailer. Oh yeah, I'll show it to you again. But be sure to watch The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, September 7th.
All right. Well, some insightful stuff there.
Yeah.
Insightful stuff there.
Man,
That
I
was
love
nice.
these guys. Like, they're so down to earth, all of these actors.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you think about it. Like, how do they not feel overwhelmed by this? A lot of these guys are very, like, they're experienced actors, but they're probably quite new to the extreme form of limelight that you get in this. So the fact that they're managing to hold it together and just be so down to earth is incredible. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I can't even imagine the immense pressure of I mean, being in any production and doing this kind of thing, but being in a Tolkien production and having that pressure on top of all that, it's pretty remarkable.
And probably reading all of the negative comments as well. It's it can be terrifying and very disheartening as well. Which again, I cannot say this enough. I know I say it all the time, but please, you're entitled to an opinion, but just consider for a second how it feels to read that opinion when you're the one playing that character. Just please, just be considerate. It's all that I would ask.
That panel was great.
That was better than the first one.
Yeah, that one was really
ask,
good.
Which one we liked better?
Oh, this one definitely. This
one. Yeah.
Is there a third one?
There is
a third one.
There is a third one.
There's a third one and a fourth one as well, but they're on Instagram and TikTok. I'm guessing they're coming out on YouTube later on because they would have recorded these.
There is one available on Twitch.
Yeah.
Negroni just sent us the Twitch link. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Negroni.
Yeah, appreciate that. Do we want to dive into that, or what do you guys want to do?
I think we should.
Yeah, that's the chat.
I'm
we've
looking
been
at it.
we've been live for quite a bit.
Yeah.
They have something that the other chats don't have, which is I think they have a Hobbit, and you know that's important.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I don't see why not. We've been live for a while. I don't have any other plans. I'm on holidays.
Well,
so-
And they have Meteor Man.
Yeah, that's true.
Meteor
I mean, it's up to you
Man.
guys. We can either
Yeah, let's go for it.
We can end it here.
Let's
and
stay, because
we can.
we just sat. Yeah, we gotta give her.
Yeah. Well, do you want to ask the audience? Should we do that?
I think we can ask, but I think the answer will be the next one.
I'm sure.
So, should we quickly just talk about this for a couple of minutes before we move on?
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
quite
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
Benjamin Walker, first of all,
Yeah.
his voice.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A bit from Charles Edwards at the end, and of course, Barking's not here, but Owain Arthur was great as well. But yeah, what was your guys' takeaways?
Loved it.
Yeah, it's lovely. Owain Arthur is.
A
quite
wine. A wine.
Wine.
A wine.
And
He is so
Elrond-
funny.
And in the London event, we got told that Rob Arame was a book nerd, and I think we saw it there again, how he got invested into the world, which is always great.
But also Charles Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
nice.
Charles Edwards, yep. You all have quite humor. You can see, and I think that was an interesting point that so maybe Benjamin Wolf gave a hint that maybe Celebrimbor and Gil-galad might not be on the best relationship. Actually, while you guys speak, I've got sounds per good idea, and I think you guys get back to me.
Was that? Was there a question in that, or?
No, I'm saying just
Yeah,
get back
what-
to you. I've
what
got
was
best.
that?
Yeah, if you want a best voice poll.
Oh.
So
yeah.
Bass
Lloyd,
voice.
Owen.
Really,
Brad.
all of their voices were quite incredible, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the top
I was
three
really surprised
are.
by what's his name? Elrond.
Yeah.
I don't know why I expected his voice to be lighter somehow, younger.
Is he Welsh? I
No.
think I thought he was British.
He's got that northern English.
Yeah, Rob Arame has a Northern English.
Kind of like Sean Bean.
Kind of like
Okay,
Sean
yeah,
Bean.
yeah, yeah,
Same-
yeah, absolutely.
I've done Lloyd Owen.
But what?
Sorry about that.
What the hell was that?
There was an ad.
Yeah.
It was
Tristan Gravel that was Tristan Gravel
Yes,
that
extremely
Yeah,
Tristan
that was
Gravel was
fourth
very
came down
well.
from the Welsh mountains to have a
Came
little
down from
chat.
the Welsh
So
mountains
Lloyd
to have a
Owen,
little
Benjamin
chat.
Walker, Tristan Gravel, and who else? Should be the fourth one. Owain. Should be Owain.
No. Benjamin Walker, Lloyd Owen,
Tristan
Gravel, and the fourth one, I guess.
Apparently
Arame,
Echo.
maybe.
Okay, well,
Did someone? Okay.
there you go. You put the poll up.
Cool.
All right, we're ready. Ready for another panel.
So in the meantime, we'll get to that. But Charles Edwards, I think, a lot of people said, did really impress. But yes, I think. Apparently, is there an echo still?
No, should be good now.
I don't hear it.
Okay. So, should we get into the next one then?
We can do that. Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's try it.
All right. Oh, they're playing music for this one.
Yeah, it has a bit of dead air time at the beginning. You need to move forward a bit.
Oh, I want to listen to the music.
It's the title room music.
Okay. We'll skip through it then.
Also, check the chat as well.
It's in the 2-minute mark. We see the blokes.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very, very special and exclusive live Q&A for Prime Video 4. I'm so excited to say this. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power from San Diego Comic-Con. Woo! Yes, I didn't even have to tell you guys to cheer. You were so ready for it. You were ready. I'm Tiffany Smith, and thank you guys all so much for joining us on Twitch, on IMDb, on Amazon Live as well.
You're good.
Now,
Any echo?
I'm excited
Nope,
to be here
should
as a
be
fan.
good.
Me and my elvish tattoo. Yes, I'm that big of a Lord of the Rings fan. But I'm going to introduce the cast that we've got here so we can get into some questions and find out some good stuff about the show. Does that sound good? Yes, yes. All right. So we are being joined by Ismael, Naz, Tyro, Markella, Megan, Daniel, Dylan,
Someone
and
needs to mute their
Sarah.
Discord
This is just a
notifications.
part of the cast, you guys, and they are epic. I'm so happy to
It
be
might be
here.
me. Hold on.
First, I have to say a big congratulations because we all just came back from the Hall H panel. So being a fan myself, I was completely blown away. I will not lie. I definitely teared up a couple of times. It was epic. How did that feel for all of you guys getting to be in Hall H for this panel today?
Dill? I actually found it really moving. I've never been anywhere where you see that much sort of affection and goodwill offered before anybody's even seen anything. So I thought it was really touching. Feel very grateful they all showed up.
It's nice to hear.
Well, and I was talking with you before, Ismail, and you were saying none of you guys have been to Comic-Con before. This is your first time at Comic-Con as well.
Yep, first time. Amazing.
I mean, you guys said Comic-Con.
That's what I said. I was like, we were talking about outfits and stuff like that. Sarah and myself and a bunch of us. I was like, just wear something that makes you feel like a rock star, because I think we're kind of reaching an apex, you know?
Yeah.
And we felt that way.
It's so true. It's an awesome place to be to get to show this content. Obviously, everybody here that was in that room are fans, and Stephen Colbert moderated, and it was a packed house.
Incredible.
Go ahead.
Crazy.
Oh, no. It's Stephen Colbert. Absolutely. I think that it's just that. I mean, I felt so, it was a very surreal moment, I think, for all of us. And that's all I have to say. I keep forgetting that we have to use the mic.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
You'll get used
okay.
to it.
Thanks, Dad.
Speaking of epic
Thanks,
and surreal
Dad.
moments, there was a San Diego Comic-Con
She's very
trailer
cute.
that was revealed in Hall H. I know that everyone is going to be watching it many, many times. It was debuted online as well. If you want to see it again, I feel like maybe we could play it here now for everybody. Does that sound
Okay,
good?
wow.
You guys can watch it again too?
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah.
Okay. We can.
Wizard, flash forward.
Let's do that. Oh, we've got some compression issues going on. Okay.
Yeah, terribly.
Yeah.
There is Bronwyn.
Yeah,
never gets old.
It's like watching it in Hall H and then seeing it again. I know that fans online are going to be picking apart every single moment, every single frame, every single line. Were there any moments watching it this time where you guys are like blown away just getting to see it come together like that?
All of it. All of it. There are so many moments that are like, I think especially like with the music as well, just like all of there's so many punches and it's just so exciting. And yeah, I mean, there's so many more in the show as well. So it's going to be cool to see everything come together.
Just a little taste of it. And one of the lines that really stood out, Naz, you get to say in this trailer, find the light and the shadow will not find you.
Yeah.
That is such an incredibly powerful line. I know you can't probably say too much, but can you tell us a little bit about what that might mean and tell us about your character?
I can't say too much, but I can say that I play the mother of this incredible young man. In the show, he plays Theo. And he is somewhat of a rebellious teenager. And I am also a wonderful Ismael Cruz. Well, his character, Elrond.
I think we got it.
But yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
But yes, the line is basically, I used to tell him this as a child, as a way to comfort him and help him find the light. And this moment that you see in the trailer is one where I'm trying to get him to sort of summon up the courage to look evil in the eye.
I love that. And speaking of being a little bit rebellious, we'll toss a question over to you, Tyro. Talk to me about getting cast for this project, because it's seeing you talk at Hall H, I was like, I love him because I feel like you're just so off the cuff and you're talking from your heart. So tell us a little bit about the casting process for you.
Oh, it was crazy. It was long. I said this in the hall. Like, it was just such an honor to be like even considered for the role. Like I was bouncing off the walls just because they saw my face and was
Yeah,
like, he's
that's
cool.
how
I was
kids
like,
work.
yeah, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, you know, they noticed
He
me. That was cool. But
older too. Like
to
he
have
sounds like he's
the actual
like
role
puberty.
is like
through,
so
yeah,
surreal
past
and
puberty.
like
That's what I was looking for. Yeah,
crazy,
I was
especially
gonna say
like
through the worst
considering
part of your
you know
teenage
where
years,
I've come
but
from and what I've done
you know
before
what I
this.
mean.
You know, I'm very blessed and very grateful. It's pretty. There's a pretty funny story. So you know, growing up, didn't have too much money. So you know, I asked my mum. You know, this is 2019. I asked my mum, "Hey, Ma, can I get this pair of shoes?" And she goes, "You know what? Just hold that thought." And I was like, "Okay." You know, wait a few weeks, and I say, "Mum, can I please get this pair of shoes? I really, really want these pair of shoes." And she says, "You know what? If you get this role, you can have 3 pairs of shoes." And that's when I knew she didn't believe in me. So I was like, you know what? Listen, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to get this role. And I went and did it. And I remember the day I got told that I got the role, I was actually on the train on the way to school. And I was with all my mates, and my mum sends through the message. She's like, "Congrats, buddy, you got the role." And like I look at the message, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. But obviously, this is like one of the most top secret things the world has ever seen. So like, you know,
You can't even
I have
talk
to, like,
about
keep
it.
it down. So I'm just like smiling to myself, and my mate's like, What's up with you? Why are you so smiling? I was like, "Oh, nothing. Just got another role for a little film or something. You know, it's shoes. What shoes should I get?" So I you know, sat with my mate on the bus and on the train for like 20 minutes, like deciding exactly what pairs I was gonna get. And I sent those photos straight to Mum, and she stuck to her word. I've got every single pair of those.
Listen, I think it meant that she did believe in you, because she's like, if he gets this job, these shoes will be fine. He can wear them on set. He's going to need some new shoes to go there anyway. So she totally believed in you.
Hey, let's be honest, Tara.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she did. I love that story.
Oh, my mum. Shout out, Mum. Love you.
We love you. We love you, Rachel.
Israel, we'll hop over here while you're watching that trailer. There was a couple moments where you're like, I could see you geeking out about getting to see yourself doing something so far. Talk to
For my role, has quite the journey and a movement through the whole series. And for me, it was very important, since we were creating something new, to honor that opportunity and honor the opportunity also. As you know, you can see here, it's a very diverse cast, and a lot of us are first.
He sounds so
So I
different
took
than
that
I
too hard.
expected.
I wanted to bring
He
a
does
little
sound
bit,
different, yeah.
a lot of myself, you know,
Different from how he sounds in the trailer, too, that
of
one
my
short line
upbringing
he
and
has.
also my heritage.
The teaser, I should say.
My love for dance,
that's-
all that stuff.
that's
So we
the
put a
benefit of
bunch
being an
of
actor, you know, you can
martial arts together,
sound
gelled it with
different.
Afro-Brazilian martial arts, and created the original style. Many hours. Yeah.
Love it. I know there's going to be people who are like, in my neighborhood during the pandemic, there were sword fighting classes outside. So I can't wait to see classes teaching your Elvish style of fighting, because I know they're going to happen.
Like an out-on there aerobics kind of
Yes.
thing.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Can I just say, like, he did
Oh my
really
God, I
work
thought she said tie me up.
hard.
We
Like,
never saw him.
Even the what you see on screen is in the trailer is honestly such a teaser. He was so committed. He was always in the stunt gym.
Yeah.
Always.
Like, I would ask him to dinner, and he's like, "I'm sorry, baby, I'm just really, really tired."
Yeah.
He was exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah. Just so brilliant.
And that just made you all feel that much more excited about the roles that you booked, right?
In fairness, I think everybody worked super hard. But this one, I mean, the
Trained it.
stunts, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And speaking of the two of you guys happening here, Mark and Megan, can you guys talk to us a little bit about playing Horvaths, and what can you tell us about them?
Cover your
That's
ears.
it right there. I feel like that's the energy.
That's my answer.
No.
What can I say? Well, I guess so. Yeah, we play Halfwits. I play Nori, and she's a very resolute, inquisitive, curious Halfwit, and she kind of leads with the idea that a fear of risk can be greater than the risk itself, and sometimes you just need to take it. And she, you know, she's a risk taker. She wants to believe that you can find solutions through risk taking, and she's an empath. She's playful. She's very frustrating for a lot of people, for a lot of beings, and her family. But ultimately, she leads with love, and she just wants everyone to do the same. She wants to subvert Halffoot tradition.
And I play Poppy Proudfellow, who is best friends with Nori. They're definitely the yin to each other's yang, I think. So yeah, Poppy is definitely more cautious of the two and sort of Rain. So yeah, if Nori wants to go and do something, Poppy's kind of like, no, I don't think you should do that. And then Nori does it anyway, and then Poppy goes along with her, and then that's like the series. I think.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
Just told you
It's
what's
that. But the Harfoots we are like a migratory community. We have these carts that are their homes. Which, like the crew built such an incredible set. And we literally carried them. So they carry their homes on their backs. Yeah. There's a lot of, they're survivors. And there's a lot of sort of depth and dark qualities within them that they've had to hold because they live in the wild and they migrate through the seasons, so they have to constantly be looking over their shoulders. But with that, there is also so much joy and song and dance and celebration and trust.
Trust. They have to trust each other. It's like a wheel of home. If someone leaves the wheel, it'll fall flat, and that's what they're constantly kind of battling with. And Sarah and Dylan can speak to that as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to jump over to you, Dylan, to talk a little bit about just the filming process, because how did you guys shoot stuff where it's, there's smaller people in this big world? Talk a little bit about what that was like on set for you guys.
I think that was the part I was most excited about, was just sort of how do you do this? And wonderfully, they said we're going back to the original 3 films and we're going to try to do it all in camera with as many little tricks. The Harfoots love blackberries. So the blackberries we ate were sort of the size of my fist to make us look small.
Yeah.
And my big thing, I think, is I was one of the bigger Harfeet. So they gave me a giant rabbit.
Also, thank you for telling us what the plural.
I think it's Harfeet.
The plural is actually Harfoot.
The women, we could see all of us just going.
I felt it. I was like, Dale, you got that wrong. You got that wrong.
That's family.
This is but yeah, they gave me a giant rabbit, which is a breed of rabbit that comes from, I think, Netherlands maybe, and it was a giant rabbit, like giant, terrifying rabbit. Makes you think, it looks at you very hungrily, and you think you could actually eat.
Well, the stream cuts off there. It just ends there.
Huh.
Unless this is part 2.
Must have been some issues with
there
the.
we go. Part 2.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Whoa, Apple TV. No bueno.
No bueno.
They are like the Roscoe Bell rabbits. That's right.
Right.
The Roscoe Bell rabbits are modeled.
There you go,
on the
Roscoe
rabbits
Bell.
that he's talking about. Yeah,
No,
but they're modeled
like I
on
couldn't
these
understand.
giant rabbits that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, not the brightest Harfoot, really. But yeah, it was through lots of tricks like that. Big. Any of the other ones? Can you think of?
But I was actually also thinking about the carts, because the carts, they did some tricks with the carts, and so there were different sizes of carts, for example. But they were so intricate and so beautifully made. Like inside the carts were our homes. Like they had all this stuff. But sometimes we had to pull these carts. And I remember one particular day, I won't say what was said on the day, but pulling a cart up a hill in the South Island, and to put it to say there was some swearing is to put it mildly, because it was a day where, do you remember that? We just had to run up this hill.
I'll never forget.
Oh my goodness! But it looks incredible because it's all real. It's not CGI. It's not green screen. Yeah. We're really doing it, and it was incredible. Such a gift that they did that for us as actors. Tried as much as possible to make it practical.
Yeah.
And things that we actually tangibly had to
That's
work
good.
with. It
I
was
like
just
that.
gold, and they did become our homes, and we got very strong too.
And honestly, like those are the moments,
like
like being a Lord of the Rings fan, I watch the extended editions, I watch all the end credit stuff, the extra stuff where it's the funny moments where people go kind of out of character, or you get to see what it was actually like. Those are the moments where everyone watches it back and they're like, that scene where they were pulling the wagons, you remember they were cursing? Like that's what the fans are going to want to see and eat up. So thank you for sharing that little tidbit. I'm going to go to someone who I don't think can share too many tidbits with us, but I'm going to try. Daniel, your character is very mysterious. There are a lot of theories online. What can you tell us about the stranger?
What's online? Tell me what you've heard.
I mean, I'm not going to say any of the theories.
Okay, fine.
I'll leave that to you.
The character was really enjoyable to play. I had everything
Will
that I
they
needed,
name drop me
every
too, man?
day to feel like I could truthfully try and play the character. But you're
No,
right,
she just
there's a
said the
whole heap of
stranger.
mystery, and I think JD and
No, I'm
Patrick
saying
have-
will they?
written these scripts in the season
series.
1 with such an expert hand. They've created this sort of masterpiece of storytelling, whereby for this character in particular, everybody's going to have to watch to learn what happens. You know, who he is, where he's, you know, what he's bringing to the table, what his intentions are. I mean, I can tell you that I think I felt that I was able to play. He had a really deep source of purpose. You know, that was the thing that I was able to follow. There's something very sort of primal in him that is a need that he follows, and I think, you know, that was the building block for me. It was really enjoyable to play. I don't know how enjoyable it was to act with for these guys, but I must say that I got the chance to watch a lot of this Team Halffoot work, and it was one of the biggest privileges, you know, to watch these guys work. It was really sensational. I only wish that I was able to see more. We weren't really able to cross over into other people's storylines, but I would have loved to have come on set and watch you guys more.
I think we did.
We managed it once. I managed it about once.
You were also generous, and we were able to actually go in and see some of the actors on set, and like, you know, the showrunners were able to. And that was quite amazing, actually, to be able to visit the set.
I saw a great scene between you two.
Yeah, I snuck into almost every set.
Yeah.
Now, after finishing the show, now they're gonna have an eye on me. But I would just turn my badge, put on a mask, put the thing out, and just kind of like sneak in with everybody else, and always be dodging the showrunners. Yeah. But I managed to see like 90% security.
Here's the thing, I will say, it's like seeing you guys in Hall H and then coming back up and just seeing you guys all together, and there's like 22 here, but seeing you guys all together, the energy that there is, like, that makes total sense, and I love it because it feels like it's a supportive family. Even though, Daniel, maybe you couldn't tell everybody everything, but you're still part of that family too.
But by the way, we were guessing, like, we were like, who is he? Is he this? Is he this character? Is he that character? And I feel like as much as I was in awe of Ismail with his stunts and his, like, the physicality and the exhaustion, I was in awe of the fact that he had like very few words to say, and he had to emote everything through his eyes. So like, the challenge is, I'm like observing my colleagues going, wow, that's just, everybody brought such skill and passion to the table. Yeah. I'm really impressed and blown.
You see the show, it's even more impressive.
There was a day I remember watching him work, and he didn't have any words to say, which is so difficult. And I was bawling by the end of a particular scene because Actually, I'm going to get teary right now, so I'll stop. But yeah, I mean, incredible. Yeah,
literally, Daniel.
Come on.
Like,
amazing.
It's so hard not to spoil things, I can
What
imagine.
you said is everyone put so much to their characters, like.
So Harfoot and Ron did
Actually,
together
you know
at
what?
one point.
I should stop myself. A problem.
We did this show. We did this show through one of the hardest times of everyone's lives and in the world, and we were put in these circumstances. We were in New Zealand for over a year, and to come together, we became a family almost instantly. There were roles, there were familial relationships, all these things, and I think you can see that on screen. You see the heart. This became more than a job. This became our way of life. This became our respite. And we knew that we were so fortunate to be in a circumstance where most people were inside their homes, not being able to work, and in our industry was pretty much shut down. And at what point
That's
we
how
were
we
the
got the
only
leaks.
show
I was always on the set.
that was running, and each and every single
Fellowship
cast
is
member
Avatar.
poured their souls into this gratitude, and you will see that shine
the power
through.
of the Tolkien
I love
community.
that so much.
And also, I mean, I felt like New Zealand took care of us. Like the country, the people in the country, the crew, you know, everybody sort of took this show in the palm of their hand, and they looked after us, they cared for us, and they poured all sorts of energy and inspiration into it. And I think you see that all on the screen, you know.
And I think it's one of those things where the material that you guys are working from is so loved, and there's so much story and detail in it, and part of that is family and coming together. Sarah, I know that you are also a huge nerd too. What do you think it is about Tolkien and these stories that are so relevant and that just last so long and people still connect with them so much now?
I think it's what we're talking about right now. I mean, people talk a lot about Tolkien's the writing of the history and the Elvish language and the world building, all of which is incredible. But I think what ultimately is relatable about him and his works, even today, is exactly this: the friendship, the loyalty, the fighting to do right against all odds, the fighting against oneself. And I think, especially now, but for each and every one of us who's watching now, that we all have those struggles, we all have those battles, and we have friends that we can turn to, hopefully, in those times. And he has just such a wonderful lyrical way of addressing all those issues and bringing them to life. And I think that is so what you'll see in our show, especially because of what we experienced as a cast, but also our writers, our set directors, our designers, our costumers, the music, the whole thing. I think that, it is something that is universal in his work, and that's what it is for me.
Well, and kind of jumping into, we were talking about on the way here, we were talking about how excited you were to be at Comic-Con. It's an awesome experience to be here. One last quick question for you guys, because I know you have so much other stuff to do, but I'm still going to get this last one in. What do you guys want audiences to see, or what can they expect when the show premieres on September 2nd? If you want to...
I'm going to start off with a battle between dark and light.
Ooh. I said...
Couple words, but fine.
Hyphenated.
Apparently you don't get a lot on the show, so you can have them here.
I was just going to say that it was sick, but that's a bit...
That works.
Hope.
I like it.
Loyalty.
A lot of this face. Yeah. I like it.
Unity.
I was going to say the fragility of the heart, preserving the fragility of the heart.
He had time to think of that answer.
Wonder.
Amazing.
It's exciting. You're going to see themes. I'm just so excited for people to see that. I don't know. I feel like with fantasy, some get that they're actually themes that we experience or that we encounter in our own lives. You know, love and, triumph in the face of adversity and all of that. And to see that it's just set in a fantastical context, so maybe it's more accessible sometimes because you've got the visual, the visuals and the music and the soundtrack, but ultimately, it's relatable because it's just as you so articulately said, it's just our lives.
Well, I could sit here and talk with you guys for hours, but they're telling me that you guys have so many other places to be at Comic-Con. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you guys all for watching live with us.
Thank you.
And make sure you tune into Prime Video on September 2nd for the premiere of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Cool. And I feel like we're going to take it out with you guys getting to watch the trailer one more time.
Great job, everyone.
Once, I guess. Yeah. So, interestingly, one of the interesting things, Elrond doesn't have a lot of lines.
Because it's an action role.
Yeah, the Half-Wits don't see each other a lot. Any other races, and I think
yes, I think like a logistic thing more. But yeah,
you're breaking up a lot, Han.
Yeah, so you're breaking up.
Yeah, you are.
Just not mute for a minute. So I think overall that was a pretty good stream. I think it gave us a lot of insight into it. But I think, does anybody have any final thoughts before we do the last final thing?
It's good for me.
I'm just excited for them. Like, it must be a magical experience for all these actors. I'm just really excited for them. And I'm happy we got to hang out today. Otherwise, I would have just been here being upset about not being at Comic-Con. So hanging out with you guys and discussing everything that is happening is a lot of fun.
For sure. And I think to wrap up, as Carl can hopefully put on screen, thanks to Vulcan, we have the entrance of Bear McCreary and Stephen Colbert.
Which one do we want to watch first?
Either one, don't mind. Whichever one gets on screen first.
Bring it on.
I'll do
more footage.
Oh, 1 second here.
Yeah. Oh, it do me.
We're getting that up for you guys.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
But the Meteor Man Stranger, you got to hear a lot of him.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Ostrowando, you still here?
Here.
Nice.
Yeah, what are your overall thoughts on all these cast interviews?
I was disappointed they didn't mention the apple.
Maybe.
When they're talking about the props.
Yeah. We might be wondering where his apple is right now. Yep. Actually,
They're probably told specifically not to mention the apple because it's too sore a point for them.
Maybe stole that. Maybe Ismail stole the apple for us.
Oh, maybe.
Because he's always been on the sets. Actually,
He's always been a fan. No.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Continue, Astruendo. Hello?
Hello?
I'm saying, yeah, if you want to continue.
I guess overall thoughts from the whole evening for me, I guess. I guess what most puzzles me is that it seems like everybody knows who Sauron is, which is not what I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
Like, they know the name Sauron, which I would have thought he would just be like, the elves know his name from, or Sauron or Gorthar from the first stage, but they didn't know he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, maybe the men in orcs and whatever knew who he was, but of course he didn't go by Sauron or Gorthar, Myron or something like that. But anyway.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think Sauron is probably the biggest thing to have come from this.
Okay, I've got this up. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but you'll be able
That's
to
fine.
hear
If you want to show it to them first, show it to them first.
Okay.
You sound very not laggy, but like crackly. Yeah.
Garbled.
Yeah.
But yeah, no idea. It looks like a religion. Maybe it's the faithful? Maybe. No, the Kingsmen, I mean, not the faithful. Yeah.
Yeah, this is we don't have a link to this, everyone. This is a special airdrop from Varking. Thanks to Varking for this.
I think, Corey, your mic's a bit cutting in and out, so it's just a lot.
Sounds a bit short, yeah.
But I think, do we have the other video to play? While I go try and maybe find.
Sorry, they don't want us talking, by the way, because they can still hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody mute and should play again.
Yeah.
Wow, quite a performance. I don't know. You guys will have to watch that video when you get a chance because there's some passionate violin playing going on there. I'll tell you that.
Then
I was listening to it while we were watching it on there. So
cool.
Yeah.
Can you put one final thing on screen, please, Kyle?
Colbert?
That after, but can you put this picture on first?
Yeah. Ah, yes.
Ah, yeah. That looks obscene. That looks obscene.
Oh, sorry, 1 sec.
Hopefully I don't get any calls from Bezos this time like last time.
Okay.
The second time.
All right, it's up.
There we go.
But it does look very obscene.
Can your mics? You might have to mute for a bit. Your mic's bad as well. So looks like we have Apple back up there as well. So this is Meteor Man's Apple. I think as a lot of you do remember from the little bit of deliberation we had to have over this one simple apple, which I think Ostraronda, you mentioned this before. Maybe isn't like the apple like a figure for like a theme for contempt or something, or like desire? Doesn't it have like temptation? There you go.
I don't think that was me.
One of you, but
someone may post on it. Yeah, the idea is that in the New Testament, at least,
temptation maybe.
Yeah. But should we see Colbert now, and then we wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. It's almost bedtime for me.
It's 20 past midnight.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I will post the link in. Thanks for the question, Randy. I'll post the link in chat.
I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I'm excited to be here to host this panel on the Prime Video series, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
There it is.
Before we get
Stephen
started,
Colbert.
how about a round of applause for series composer Baron McCreary?
For those of you wondering, by the way, it's my name on YouTube is Kiki Glover, so that's who I am on the chat.
I don't
Yes.
think most of you
Anyway.
would be here today if you didn't share that passion and a deep curiosity of how the artists we will meet today will, over the next 5 seasons, take us all into the cataclysmic events of the Second Age. My introduction to Tolkien was when I read The Lord of the Rings when I was around 12 years old. My friend Keith Sargent gave it to me. I was instantly absorbed by this world. I remember lying on the couch one day and I was reading The Two Towers. I was in the chapter The Uruk Eye. And at one point I suddenly sat bolt upright, gasping for breath because I realized that I had been holding my breath for the last 2 pages. Because reading Tolkien.
All right. That is Mr. Stephen Colbert. Who expected Colbert to be involved in this whole?
Yeah. But
I can think of someone.
But I think that's how long has it been? 6,
Long
7,
enough.
8.
Yeah.
We've been up for quite a while.
So maybe we'll do
Have we been up for?
Sorry, go on.
Oh my goodness! How long have we been up for?
Long enough.
Long enough.
We'll have
All
to
night.
get it, but
My stomach is telling me a lot.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, hope
What were you
everyone
saying,
enjoyed.
Kyle?
I was
We
just gonna
missed Kyle.
say maybe we'll do another stream just to break the rest of the trailer down and we'll,
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah,
it
we will.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Sorry
um,
about all the technical difficulties, guys, and thanks for sticking with us. We will be back stronger next time. There's so much to cover.
Yeah.
I know you guys are all excited about the live watch party that's gonna happen once its first episode comes out. So yes.
So yeah, thank you. Of course, been some hiccups, but the last at least hours or two have been good. So first of all, he's been popping out in and out a lot of the time, but to my to my right, Penguin. Thanks. Is he going to speak? Nope, he's not going to speak. Fair enough. Okay, then. Then next up, thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and it's always good talking to you.
Thank you, Hen.
Thank you. It was very intense, but very enjoyable.
Yep.
And we should also thank those who have been left by the wayside, I guess.
Oh, yep. Talking to you at one point as well, I think. We would be doing a longer trailer breakdown, and then I'll do a short 10-minute-ish one. But thank you, Ostra Wonder, for coming on for the first time.
Well, I guess I have to say something since you can't see me, but you're welcome. It's good to be here.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rory.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. I can't wait for the next trailer breakdown. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
For sure. For sure. We'll get all that started on that straight away. But also big thank you to Carl for today as well, who's been through it all but has look how we delivered. We're right here at the end. Yeah, perfect.
We got it sorted out. We got through it together. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Good job, Kyle. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you to the audience.
Get it wrong. Oh wait, the wrong one.
Thank you for watching, and I think to the next one. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you later.